Oh shit. Okay, I had no plan starting this, but I'm gonna press the start button anyways, and it's gonna fucking do stupid shit every time. Alright, bam, we're recording. We're live. Relatively live. I'm not actually live to an audience or anything. So what was I gonna start with? What was I gonna talk about? You know what I was gonna talk about? Okay, let's just settle in, you know. I feel like I've noticed some things about myself, right? Coronavirus and whatnot. Right? Okay. I've noticed things about myself. I haven't noticed much about other people because I haven't seen other people in a while. But as much as I've gathered through the interwebs, they're all losing their minds. Especially the people who are like relatively mentally healthy, right? But not like all that healthy, right? People who like I looked at and were like, oh, you seem like pretty healthy, right? But then like they stopped seeing people for a bit and they like all their like they were just distracting themselves the whole time. And now like it's hard to distract yourself because you're just so fucking bored and like it's already kind of a depressive environment for a lot of people. So a lot of people are just losing their shit, and they're kind of sinking into like some mental stuff. But I think as we all collectively sink into that, we can all help collectively pull ourselves out. Which I mean, that's a kind of a hopeful theory, but whatever. I mean, we'll be fine, right? Whenever they open the country back up, free market stops for nobody. What else was it? Okay, so what have I noticed? I've noticed that my fucking facial hair, it looks like really full on camera, like really full, but it's not. It also looks like fucking like it looks like it's going down here. I look like fucking I'm like borderline Abrahamic, like I got like fucking beard going on, but that's not really what's going on. I don't think I haven't shaved in a while, to be fair, but it's not really like these like until I looked at it on camera moments ago, I did not know I had this much facial hair. Just because, like, I'm not going to see anybody. Like, what the fuck am I going to get ready for? Like, fuck, yeah, that's like my whole kind of shit right now. So I look crazy, right? I look crazy. I got this vibe. I got this shirt on, which, like, does button, I think. Oh, shit. This shirt doesn't button higher than this. So, like, this is, like, my fucking ultra, like, chill time shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm fucking out of the house in this, then, like, the vibes I'm throwing out. Creepy chest hair vibes. Baby. Alright, well, Tinder's doing this thing. I'm just giving, like, these are basically just future updates to myself, just to kind of explain how weird this time is. This is dating service, Tinder. I'm sure you don't remember it if you're looking at this for more than, like, 5 years in the future. But essentially it's a service that's like dating. It's a dating app. And they're for some reason allowing, you can, basically what you can do is you can set your location at any place in the world because of coronavirus. Because I don't know how that helps, but in their head it helped somebody. I don't know, maybe if you live in a small town, I could see how that might be interesting. But like Tinder's like for dating and shit. Like why would it be a feature to be able to set your location to any place other than where you are? Like I could set my location to Europe and just fucking like be weird to European girls, right? Like, hey, how's it going over there? I hear your shit's fucked. Our shit's also fucked. You want to fuck? Like, I don't understand the mentality behind it. I guess that's fine though, right? I don't have fucking share and I don't have stocks in Tinder, so like who really cares? Let's see. So that's interesting. It's not really interesting, but it's relevant, right? Just to kind of give you the mindset of like a lot of companies are making an attempt to respond to this pandemic, but it doesn't feel like all that effective or useful. There are some companies that are doing useful shit. Let me think of one that's doing something useful. I'm sure there's fucking one. oh, HEB is doing some relatively good shit, right? But they're becoming more lax on the good shit they were doing. They had a really good thing where they would like limit the amount of people going into the store. Like, but now it feels like they're just letting however many people want to come in now. Yeah, it's just how it feels. Maybe they still are limiting, and I just can't see it, but it doesn't feel like it. Recently, it was assigned by the county that you need to be, if you leave your house, you need to be wearing a face mask, right? But it's not like an actual like useful face mask, or not like an N95 mask, right? Which is the one that will allegedly stop the virus. Like any face covering is fine, which apparently does good stuff for if you have the virus. It's good if you have the mask because it makes it a little bit harder to spread the virus. Which, I mean, all right, sure. I don't know how effective it'll be, but I mean, it's something. At least like Texas is doing something. I mean, that order isn't being done by Governor Greg Abbott. That order is being given by, I think Nuremberg's our mayor, San Antonio mayor. I don't fucking know. There's a dog outside. So, the situation with the dogs, I don't know if you can hear them from this mic, but basically, there's a dog out back there, our dog. There's like two dogs in the neighbor's dogs, or two dogs in the neighbor's yard. That's their yard. Dogs, they're their dogs. Fucking, don't worry about it. I'm having a stroke, okay? Give me a break. I haven't talking. I haven't spoken to anybody in like a year, okay? So fucking give me a break. Anyways, I'm not fucking cutting this out either. I'm not fucking cutting it out. You can't make me cut it out. I can't make me cut it out. Oh, okay. Side note. All right. I've been listening to a lot of like stand-up comedians. So a lot of tangents are fine. I've decided. Before, I was like, tangents, not fine. Cut that shit out. You've got an objective here. Now, no fucking objective. Just going in, throwing a video up like some kind of fucking amateur, because I am an amateur. Anyways. So I'm not going to be editing any videos, so that way maybe I'll have some sort of regularity to the videos. If all I have to do is just throw them into Premiere, slap the audio on it, render it, and then I'm done. Boom. Fuck you. I'm out. Right? Then I upload. And that alone, that's still going to take like 2 hours to do, but maybe it'll be more doable than me going through an entire fucking video and editing it so I think it's funny. Because you know what? It's not going to be funny. It's never going to be funny. I'm done with it being funny. Anyways, back to the dog. Okay, so the fucking dog is stupid. This dog's like really fucking stupid. Our dog is stupid. I haven't clarified that. Our dog's stupid. Their dogs are also very stupid, but for a different reason, as you'll understand. So, I am still recording at a moment, you know? I think everybody is like, who records and suddenly like has that moment where they're like, uh-oh. Uh-oh, I didn't press the button. Oh no. Anyways. So, got this dog down here. It's gotten bitten through the fence. Like twice. No, like 3 times. Right? It's gotten bitten through the fence. Right? This dog, by the way, our dog, doesn't really have teeth. So there are these obviously like somewhat violent dogs, but I say bitten, like bleeding. Like he bleeds because they bit him so fucking hard. I say they. I think one of the dogs, there's like 3 dogs back there. One of them is like small and kind of cute and like kind of a little bitch, like this dog should be, like my dog should be. One of them is like kind of like a nice dog. Like you can tell like by his, like he's a nice dog and he doesn't seem to like be aggressive. The other dog though, the last dog, he's the fucking big dog and he's just angry, right? Like he's an angry fucking dog. I don't know why. I didn't do anything to him. My fucking dog sure shit didn't do anything to him, except for probably annoy the fuck out of him, because my dog's annoying as fuck. Anyways, there were these holes in the fence, and our dog had been bitten through them a few times. And by bitten through them, I mean like our dog stuck his fucking snout into the fucking neighbor's fence and got bit, right? And I'm not like acting like my dog, like that's okay, right? It's not okay. Why are there holes in the fence? Why is their dog biting our dog? I mean, it's because they didn't socialize their dogs properly. Um, clearly we didn't, because if we had socialized our dog properly, maybe this dog would be like less prone to stick its nose in a fucking fence with vicious dogs on their side. Whatever. This is what they do, by the way. So this dog goes out. Our dog goes out. He's been bitten through his fence 3 times. The fence was patched by the neighbor, right? Thanks to my parents bitching at the neighbors. And so now that it's safe, he doesn't change his behavior from before. He's still like looking for places to stick his nose into. It's just like he's a stupid dog, okay? Like, but also nobody ever, he doesn't go anywhere, right? So maybe like him getting bit on the nose is like the most exciting thing to happen to him. Like any month that happens is just like, fuck yeah, I was bleeding, that was life. I felt the rush. I always kind of wondered that, right? I feel like if I was a dog, like this dog, right? It was this dog. He's such a bitch, right? Anytime we try to take him somewhere, he just whines and like whines loudly, not like whining, like like that kind of whine, right? And so it's just fucking like we don't take him anywhere because he's fucking annoying. That being said, I couldn't drive before too recently, so it wasn't really my choice to take him anywhere. But this dog just fucking whines all the fucking time, and like he doesn't do well on leashes, and also he's just not fucking socialized. So if he sees like another dog, then he'll just fucking bark at them incessantly. Or if he sees another human, he'll just bark incessantly. So he's just such a pain in the ass to take anywhere. I say it's I blame the people who originally owned him. I didn't originally own him. Somebody else in my family did. I'm not gonna name names, but they fucked up. Anyways, so but if I was that dog, right, I can't fucking go anywhere, right? My owners won't take me anywhere due to whatever reason. I think I'd just I think I would just like might injure myself just for like the fun of it, right? Like if your life is like nothing but like eating and sleeping, like I don't know, I might just like fucking like just nosedive off a fucking bed every now and again, you know, just to like see what you know, little life feels like. You know, just like crash in a glass window. Maybe I'll break through. Maybe I'll lacerate my neck. Whatever. Fucking. But that's like as a human, right? I don't think animals, or a lot of animals, have that kind of tendency. They don't have. Boredom is the word I'd use. I have a cat. And he seems okay. I feel kind of bad for him. My cat. I was in an apartment up in Austin not too long ago, and it was a lot bigger. He had a lot more. I'm looking at him right now while he's cleaning himself like a fucking weirdo. I'm the weirdo who's looking at him. He's kind of the weirdo though. He's cleaning himself while I'm watching him. Anyways, I had a bigger apartment, and he seemed to like be pretty happy in that apartment. And like his behavior has changed drastically. Now, admittedly, there was another person in that apartment and another cat, so that could be why his behavior changed. But he seemed a lot more energetic in that other apartment with more space than in this one. He just kind of sits and lazes around all day, which worries me. He's getting kind of fat, and like he does this thing though. He's smart, and I love him because he's smart, but I fucking hate it because like whenever he wants food, or actually it's not whenever he wants food necessarily. Whenever his food bowl's empty, he basically just makes as much noise as possible, but not like meowing, right? If he was meowing, I could withstand it because I like it when he meows. Not like he'll like knock shit off of other shit, which is a very cat thing, but he'll do this other thing where like he'll just like paw stuff that he knows is like loud. Like if there's like a plastic bag somewhere, he'll just fucking paw at it like incessantly. Like, because he knows, like, that it'll make me fucking fill his stuff because I'm annoyed by it. Which is smart, but also he's going to get really fucking fat if I don't figure out a way to not make him do that. Or I could just make the fucking place clean, but, like, God, who the fuck has the time for that? He says, as he's been sitting in his room for days. Don't worry about it. So what else? Okay, I got my stupid facial hair out of the way. I got stupid U.S. government doing jack shit for coronavirus. Oh, future me. In case you forget, you probably will because that's just how this era works, right? There's so much information that that you just always are gonna be forgetting. But the uh, the U.S. government, Trump administration, big lack of stuff at all. Um, big lack of any real response except like they said they're closing the country down, but they didn't really. It didn't seem like they really did much. Like they closed a bit of an immigration, but I feel like it was just an excuse for them to close down more immigration because they're scared of immigrants because they're bitches. But they also haven't gotten on top of testing, which is the big thing, right? So we are about to go into some very hot months, meaning that coronavirus will look like it dies down for a bit. But then it's gonna come back in fall, and maybe we'll fucking test. Fucking hope to God we have actual tests. I say actual tests, like we have more tests and better testing procedures moving forward with this virus. Hope we have that. If we don't, then it's just going to be the same thing we had before, just again. Or same thing we have now, but again. Which will be really bad. So, hopefully we have good testing. And I don't know how Americans are going to... I don't know what Americans would like, right? So, there's a lot of Americans who, right now, they're talking about all of the... all the restrictions being put on them right now, right? There's a lot of protests going on in America about the quarantine orders, right? The stay-at-home orders. And these people, they're going like in front of like state capitals, or like intentionally like going and hugging in front, like just basically like fuck you, I'm gonna get the virus, right? That's their idea. But I wonder how they would react to having their phones monitored at all times, right? In this, for the sake of them being able to leave quarantine, for the sake of the economy, right? Because that's what these people act. They're like, oh, for the sake of the U.S. economy, we gotta go back to work. The U.S. economy, it's so important. As we all know, the billionaires, they don't have enough money to support the U.S. economy. We gotta go make them more money. If we don't, then they'll have one less $1 billion. I guess that's the idea. Anyways, because in South Korea, that's what they did to curb the coronavirus outbreak significantly, right? They essentially had a group that monitored all the cell phone signals and basically could tell how close you were to another cell phone. And then if somebody tested positive, they would track back to all the people that those people had come in contact with, had been, near, right, using their cell phone data, and then tested those people, right? And through like that kind of aggressive testing, they're able to have a large degree, or a relatively large degree of control over their situation, right? Compared at least to America's response, which is we had no tests. We just got fucked by us. We got fucked by us and by coronavirus, but also by the news. We got fucked by us and the news and by coronavirus. Like, what's new? But two of those aren't new, at least. Because like our news kind of didn't act like it was a serious thing at all for a long time. And well, actually, there's some news that acted like it was a serious thing, but a significant amount of news was kind of like, it's fine, it'll be fine, but it wasn't fine. And I feel like it has to be intentional, right? Because all these fucking news stations, they like these huge fucking multi-million-dollar news stations, they have to have like one fucking China correspondent, right? Like one motherfucker is in China, knows the language, like, and is keeping tabs on the fucking pulse of the country. Whoa. Yes? Alright, that I will cut out because it's cruel not to. Cruel to myself. but also cruel to the nobody watching. So mostly cruel to myself, to future myself. I'm winded. I went up some stairs. No, I'm fine. But what the fuck is talking about? Oh, coronavirus. Something about coronavirus. I'm sure it was really, really insightful. Okay. Oh. I actually did have to take a breath there, just because I wasn't like. Look, what do you want from me? I'm a fat fuck. Okay, I'm living in coronavirus times. Like those stairs right there are the most exercise I've gotten in a while. Okay, because I don't want to go outside. Everybody's outside right now. Like that's kind of the irony of this. We're all being told to stay inside, but we're allowed to leave to do exercises outside. And because it's the only time a lot of people get outside at all, there's so many fucking people outside. And it's like I don't want to go outside. But what was it 2 days ago? I went to Los Maples, which is a state park that recently reopened because it was all closed for coronavirus for a bit. I don't know why they reopened or why they closed. But anyways, so I did that, and like I got kind of close to some people who were like breathing pretty heavy, and I mean like I didn't have my fucking face mask on, right? Like it's fucking hot, right? You know, and like I'm not gonna have my fucking face mask on when it gets really hot, or whenever you get really hot, right? I got really hot, and it was fucking hot, and I was like doing a lot of exercise, so you're heavily breathing, you're getting those masks really fucking like wet. Your moisture on your breath is making the masks moist, which actually makes it a better breeding ground for like bacteria, and it makes it apparently worse in relation to viruses, as far as I understand. So it's like, okay, I'm not putting a mask on for this. But I figured it was better to go to like this state park that's like way out of the way from this city. Oh my god. You guys, okay, so long story short, if I get coronavirus, I don't feel guilty because I did what I could to like limit my exercise to a place that's a fucking hour and a half outside of the goddamn city. Okay? So I don't feel guilty. But other thing I wanted to talk about, this fucking house is the most acoustically bullshit house I've ever fucking lived in, right? Or ever fucking been in. Okay? Because like you heard, one of you motherfuckers heard some fucking dishes happen in the background, right? So I'm trying to figure out the layout of the house and how to explain it properly. But essentially what you need to know is that I'm approximately like at least 10 yards from the room in which that is happening in, right? In a normal house, that's not fucking normal that I can hear the fucking dishes being washed. It fucking rooms and rooms over. But you know why? It's because my parents have this fucking aversion to carpet, and I understand the aversion to carpet, right? Like we've got pets. Pets are going to piss on the carpet. I understand it. But also, they were so fucking lazy. I say they're lazy. They're so short-sighted that they took out all the carpet and then didn't put anything down, right? So it's just like fucking plywood below like any given part of this whole second story of the house. And because of that, sound travels so incredibly well, right? And also, something else that makes this sound travel even better is because the doors are cut so that there's, when you have like flooring, the door and the flooring kind of like the door closed and it's like this, right? But because there's no actual flooring, just the plywood, there's like a big gap between where the door ends and the flooring begins. And that's just open air. And so the entire house is, because like there's no walls that can be separated because there's fucking just open door. Like, it's a poor way to explain it, but you understand. There's no actual closed doors when it comes to sound propagation in this house because there's at least a fucking solid inch of just space that the sound can travel in. It's just like it's such a my parents' thing to do. Right. It's just a very them thing to do. Just like rip up all the flooring because we're gonna fix the flooring and then not have an immediate plan, right? Like a normal person, I don't think takes the flooring up until they have the fucking supplies to immediately fix it, right? Like I feel like if my parents were surgeons, right, they'd put the patient under, they'd cut him open, they'd take out the stomach and look to the nurse and say, "All right, we need another stomach. I need you to put in an application for a stomach right now, or else this person's gonna die." And the nurse is gonna be like, "What? Why wouldn't you do this beforehand? That takes weeks to get the stomach in." And my parents would say, "Well, why didn't you say anything?" Right? Like, or the nurse, no, that my parents say, "Oh, I'm busy. I was too busy to fucking fill out the application, but like I wasn't too busy to cut this person open. Whatever." It sounds like I'm like really bitter, like these fucking idiot people who let me live in their house. Like no, like they have their flaws, and it's funny to talk about their flaws, because it's funny to talk about all flaws, right? Because it's not like I'm not really being all that serious, but like it's annoying, but everybody has their annoying shit. Basil. Oh, my cat looked at me. If you're listening to this and my cat's dead, he's a great cat. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, is that it? Is that all I wanted to talk about? This feels like a crazy long video, but I'm gonna keep going because nobody can fucking stop me. And because I'm not editing anything, it feels incredibly liberating to just like talk and talk and talk and talk. Because I guess how I would put it is, because it's not being edited, I don't have to worry about the fucking final cut. It's like, yep, this is the final cut. And it makes speaking easier. Oh god. Let's see, what was that? Talked about fucking stupid shit. Oh, let's talk about how I don't have any friends. Okay. I looked right into the sun just to fucking prep myself for this topic. I don't have any friends. I do have some friends, but not all that many friends. A really small amount of friends. And they're not ideal friends, a fair amount of them. Some of them are pretty cool, but they're not ideal. Or no, that's not the order I wanted to put it. Some of them are pretty cool, most of them not ideal. But the reason I think is because I'm becoming fairly discerning in the people, right, that I talk to. And I'm just, okay, so how would I put it? There's a certain type of person that I'm like, at this point, I just don't. Like, I'm not going to benefit from them in the way I want to. And by the way I want to, I mean, like, grow as a person, right? Because I pretty much always want to be growing as a person. Not that that's, like, my life's goals to become the best person I can possibly be, honestly. Because it's such a fucking, like, stupid goal, right? I want to be the best person I can be. And it's like, you're never going to know at the time if you are the best person you could be, right? Like, that's the kind of thing you'll know way fucking later. So it's not like you can have a goal that you can only know way later when you've accomplished the goal, right? And I assume I'm always going to be improving, so whatever. It's just like a stupid goal. And I've heard a fair amount of people have, like, I want to be the best person I can be. Or I want to be the best at everything, right? I've heard a fair amount of people say that. I get interested in something and I want to be the best at it. And it's like, but you can't. Like, you can't be the best at it. And I understand the notion that you're like, I want to, I understand the notion. It's like I want to, like, just maximum effort type shit, which is fine. But I don't know if maximum effort's sustainable for, like, anybody, right? There really does come a point when it's like, no, like, maximum effort for bursts and then, like, sustain. You'll get burned out. I mean, that's just me, though. Anyways. What the fuck was I talking about? I immediately forgot what, like, the actual point of what I was saying was. Actual point of what I was saying was. Fuck, I don't remember. Shit. Let me see these levels right here. Oh, these levels look fine. These look perfectly fine. I sound like a normal person, I bet. This is actually a useful sound setup, talking this way, because there's not a lot of. One, I'm not talking very loud. but also I'm talking towards my bed, which is like fabric, which just absorbs all the sound. And right, because everything in this room is hard, there's no actual absorption happening in terms of sound except for like this bed. So I'm talking to the one fucking sound absorbing thing. So maybe that'll reduce the echo a little bit. A little bit. And also this mic's supposed to be directional. I don't know how reasonable that is, but it's supposed to be directional. At this direction. What the fuck was I talking about? It was super important. Like world savingly important. Oh, right. I don't have friends. So you gotta make people in my life. Okay, so yeah. People who like don't how I want it. People who have like no interest in discussing certain things. Like I don't like talking at people. And I've noticed that I end up talking at people sometimes about certain things. Certain types of people. I say certain types of people. I mean certain people. I guess it's a type of people who I talk at, but whatever. Basically, like I'll mention, like take this one girl at Tinder, and admittedly, Tinder's not an amazing place to do this, but also we had started talking about something that like we'd already talked about like one time before, and it's like I don't want to fucking talk about this like we were talking about like exercise or some shit, and like I kind of want to fucking talk about that again. So I started I was like I basically didn't do a sentence ender, but I was like, all right, we can talk about this exercise thing. But then I also added, but also I've been thinking about, and like this super fucking really specific thing, right? And I know if somebody texted me this type of thing, I'd be like, oh, good, right? Let's talk about something interesting. Because I was talking about like how I went to Los Maples and I was out of breath because I don't fucking exercise. And she's like, yeah, I've been exercising at this place. But like we already talked about that place she's been exercising and how often she exercised. It's like, yeah, I don't need you to restate the thing, right? My new it's another thing with like people like we've already talked about this thing, and people who like it's not they don't remember, right? Because I get it, people talk to a lot of people and they might forget what specific thing, but like it's a fucking text conversation. Like just do like a fucking small amount of research. Just like scroll back up, say, have we fucking talked about this thing? I think we have, but whatever. That's the kind of thing that annoys me in a conversation where somebody just like, it feels like your conversations are so impersonal. Maybe it's because they are impersonal, but in that case, I don't like it when people have impersonal conversations with you. Anyways, so I just super randomly was like, do you think people can change fundamentally? Right? And then I expounded on that question, or like I specified more what I meant, which is basically the idea that people can change like in a, not just in like their favorite food changes kind of way, but in like a really major way. Like they don't like food anymore type of way, you know? Like, yeah, you get the idea. It's not meant to like be an incredibly specific topic, but it's just like meant to like start a conversation that like you're just like makes you think, right? Because it's kind of what the reason I guess I stopped that exercise topic we were talking about, because it's just like an information thing, and the information isn't that good. All right, it's just like this is what I do that we've already talked about, and what I do is I go fucking walk, right? And you don't need to talk about how you walk more than once, unless you have like a fucking good ass story. You can tell somebody that you walk and then never mention it again in your fucking life, right? Unless you're like asking them to go walk with you, you're done. You're out of things to talk about if you're fucking talking about walking twice. So that's kind of that was my indication. I was like, oh, we're done with talking about things in general. Or like I don't trust you. Not that I don't trust her, but like if this is your conversational input, then I'm going to ask for other input, right? Because, yeah, on this specific subject, you're lagging. You're not lagging, but, like, it's not what I'm looking for. Anyway, so I asked her that. And she said Yeah, yeah. I don't need to go through our entire fucking conversation, but basically, um, she was like, "What made you ask that?" And I was like, "Whatever." And I literally said, "I'm not gonna go through it," and then I immediately started going through it like a fucking like an idiot. But basically, the it feels like that conversation lasted one message, but I don't think that conversation should last one message, right? Can people change? Because she said yes, I think people can change, and I said, uh, I've been thinking about the concept of people being truly dynamic, and that idea doesn't seem compatible with the idea of like personality types, right? Or even like astrology, which I've never been for, but I think, but that was the end, right? I don't think that you can believe in personality types and also believe in dynamic people, right? In this, yeah, I don't think you can earnestly believe in either of those at the same time, right? And I think that's a fairly unusual thing to say. I don't think that's a common belief to hold, or at least a common way to look at it, right? Which I think should start a conversation. Uh, but like I think she kind of missed it what I said. But like it's in text, so like, and I reread it, and I was like, this is fine. Like if she missed it, she missed it, or she just didn't want to talk about it. But it's like that's the kind of conversations I want to have, right? Conversations about like beliefs that we hold that maybe we don't realize contradict other beliefs we hold, right? And that's something I'm like really interested in, the contradictions that humans have, and how constant those are and how persistent they are. Because like there's so many things I really love those contradictions also. It sounds like I'm like just trying to get rid of them. No, like those contradictions exist for a reason, right? It might have to do with like I think it has to do with like what we've been told, right? And what we've internalized. And we've been told these things and we've internalized them separately. But once something's internalized, you don't often question it. But my idea is to intentionally take those ideas that you've just kind of accepted as truth and put them against other ideas that you've accepted as truth, and kind of just see why they might not match, right? And if they do match up really well, then that's a good sign. And I think a lot of people get kind of, they don't like it when you do that, right? Because if they feel like you're trying to like challenge them, as if like they're, I don't know, I guess like as if like they're any, as if they're, how do I put it? It feels like they think I'm trying to challenge them because they don't, I don't think they listen to me all that much, honestly. I don't think they really listen to me. Like I think they have this concept of people who like whenever you ask a question about somebody's deeply held beliefs, you're automatically like saying that you're better than that belief, right? Or you're like trying to disprove it. But like that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm legit just like, I want to know, or like not that I want to know, but like I want to I want to poke at it, right? I want to ask questions about it, and I think you should too. But a lot of people don't want to, because I don't know. I think it's because it might have to do with like a point of like pride, right? Because it's something like I've experienced it. There's something like it feels very, very vulnerable to admit that one of those like deep held truths isn't real or isn't like accurate to the world, right? And a lot of people don't like feeling like that, especially when it was brought on by another person. But I think that's not I don't know, that doesn't seem like a good reaction, even though it's the common one. I don't know if it's good, right? I don't know if it's the most productive to us becoming better people. Who are like fair and just and have a good sense of like reality. Because that's, I guess, the whole point, right? The whole point of figuring out if those beliefs are correct or not correct, but figuring out why those contradictions exist is to make sure that you are not balanced, but because like balance is a stupid word when relating to like morals, even though I've heard it used, but to make sure that you are like a You are not some. This is just to make sure you're not something, right? It's to make sure you're not somebody who goes through life, um, just going with the flow in a way that is negative, right? Because I've met a fair amount of people who mention like, yeah, I'm pretty laid back and stuff, but like they just don't they don't think all that much, or something. They don't think, but like they don't question themselves or other things all that much. And I guess there's something to like kind of security that might be like certainly very alluring, but I just don't know if it makes you like the best person you could be, right? And I already said that. It's like stupid to go for the whole to make that the ultimate goal. But like that's not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal isn't to be the best person I could be, but the idea is to act like the best person you can be, right? So I guess how you'd put that, I guess the difference is one of them is like one day I'll be the best person, and the other one is right now I'm going to act like the best person, right? Like one of them is just like it's a it just feels a lot more active, but also ever changing, right? Because who I'm the best person I can think of acting like is gonna change, right? With my morals and with a lot of stuff, that's all gonna change. I can't trust that I'm ever actually gonna be the best person that I'll ever be. I can only trust that I will, in a given situation, act in a way that I think the best version of me would act, right? But the point is that my idea of who that best person is will change throughout my life. And I'm sure who I'm trying to act like right now in this like given time is going to be different than who I would have wanted myself to act like in 50 years, right? 50 years looking back to now, I'm going to say, "Oh, I would have acted like that." Right? But I frankly don't really, well, to some extent I don't acknowledge that future self as much as I used to, just because there's so much like context that you miss whenever you talk about yourself in the past, right? It's like, oh, that guy's a fucking asshole, right? Or at least for myself, I know it's like anytime I think about something like that, I'll be like, oh man, why the fuck didn't I do that? Then I'll be like, oh yeah, that was happening. And it's just like giving myself some leeway, because I tend to do it with other people, right? I give other people a lot of leeway, in that I think they should like I'm not hard on people in a lot of ways, as hard as some other people seem to be in their moments of, I don't know, weakness isn't the word I mean, but like you know what I'm talking about. People will like be really, really critical of somebody who they think deserves it, but they won't be that critical of somebody they don't think deserves it, even if, but like that's a bad idea, right? You should be equally critical of people, whether or not you think they deserve it, because what you think they did, I don't know. I was gonna say you should be critical of people no matter what, or you should be equally critical no matter if they deserve it or not, because frankly, your judgment of whether or not somebody deserves something might not be as correct as you'd like. But also, I mean, there are instances when it's like, well, maybe, and there are instances when your judgment is as correct as you think it is. But I don't know. I still think maybe being critical of people equally might be the best route, might be the best method of examining people without losing your mind. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Shit. Okay, so I talked about my lack of friends. Oh, right. Let's talk about lack of friends again. Okay, let's keep going actually on that. Whoa. Okay, so I don't have a ton of friends, right? Because a lot of people aren't giving me what I want, which is sort of, I want conversations, right, out of friendship. I would say that's one of the main things I want out of friendships, right? I want good conversations. And I don't mean like conversations where people agree with me, necessarily. I just want conversations where people listen to me and then respond, right? and then I will listen to their response, and we can talk, right? And I'm okay with like them saying something, and I will listen to them. Like whoever does that first isn't really important, but it's just like really listening, right? I guess I just want active fucking listeners for friends. That's apparently a hard thing to find. Is my cat behind me? Oh shit. Yeah, I guess I just want fucking active listeners, which seems kind of hard to find. Maybe to have an active listener, you need somebody who like cares about you. Maybe I just don't find a lot of people who care all that much about me, which I mean, it's fine. I don't think it's common to find somebody who cares about you all that much. Okay, I can see it. It's still going. Still recording? It's still recording. Hell yeah. Oh shit, we're at 46 minutes. Let me check this camera battery real quick. I did forget that it stops recording every 30 minutes or something like that. It's something about some sort of European bullshit, which annoys me actually a lot. But it's fine. It's at 33%, so I've got a little bit more to talk about. I'm literally just going to cut to black whenever it stops. I'm not going to cut this recording, like this audio recording. It's staying like this. So anyways, what the fuck was I at about? What was I on about? I was on about something. Oh, right, the people and what they give me. Right, I want active listeners. Nobody cares about me. There's some people who care about me, but I still don't think they're active listeners. Like, it's just not... I want active listeners who care about me, I guess. But... Oh, right, but let's not act like that's, like... I don't want to act like that's, like, the world, like... Oh, there's just not a lot of active listeners in the world, and yada, yada, yada. No, like I have to... I don't make an effort to go out and seek people like I should. And that's just a result of, like, my fear of rejection. But frankly... I need to just get the fuck over it, right? Right. Part of me wants to just like go to a bar and just ask a shit ton of women out, right? And just get rejected. Like, part of me just wants to like do everything I can to get my fear of rejection out of the way, to like just pummel my fear of rejection, right? Part of me wants to fucking go do stand-up comedy, right? And just fucking like bomb, right? Just so I can get used to like people's disapproving stares, so I can get over this, right? I don't know if that would be a healthy thing to do, but part of me wants to do that just because like I don't like this idea of this like fear in any way like hindering my life and my experiences, right? Because I feel like without this fear of rejection, my life would be a lot better, right? Yeah, I'd be positioning myself for a lot better things than I am right now. But anyways, as soon as whatever this is, quarantine ends, I somewhat plan on going out and being social with people. And I think a lot of people are going to do the same thing, just because on the internet, it just seems like a lot of people are like so starved of human contact in a way that I don't think they normally are. And I expect things like bars and shit to be like completely fucking just packed to the gills, like right after this pandemic, which will be a negative because the quarantine, I'm sure, will be lifted before the actual virus is dealt with and before testing happens. So I'm sure it'll be fucking just immediately like a huge spike in cases of the coronavirus or of COVID-19, depending on what you want to call it. But yeah, that's going to be a problem, but also I will be in that group probably, right? Impartial. Yeah, just because it's like I don't know, right? Like, I acknowledge that it's somewhat irresponsible to do that, but also I think it's irresponsible to just stay in my house and not do anything to benefit myself socially, right? Because I think that's something that I'm deeply lacking, right? I'm deeply lacking a fair amount of social skills and a fair amount of, or at least social contacts. And like I'm lacking any sort of like support network that I desire. Um, yeah, just go do the things I want to do. So that's exciting that I might go do that. Shit, yeah, I've been talking for like 51 fucking minutes. Okay. So what else is there? That's my cat's still fucking there. It's cute. Hey. So I think that's about it. God, there's so much. Yeah, there's a lot of shit. Should I just go until 60? Just flat 60? Just cut it exactly at 60? God. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go just till exactly 60. So what else? Oh, fuck. I'm looking at the sun, and it's hard. It's hard to look at the sun. This is a really fun thing. All right, let's complain about some shit that doesn't matter at all, you know? I'll be playing, like, shit on my computer, right? Oh, God, I say that, and I feel like such a fucking fat ass. Like, fucking asshole plays on his computer all day. I do. It is. I am a fat ass, and I am a disappointment to myself in a deep sense. Anyways, I'll be playing in the fucking sun. Will just be shining like directly into my face. So I'll scoot like as far into this desk as I possibly can, so the sun can't shine into my eyes. Um, it's just like such like a fucking like vampire looking. Shit. Such like fucking like God. My cat's pawing at me. It's like a fucking. It's such a loser like vampire thing to do. Like I don't like the sun. I must. And oh fuck. What? What do you want? Why are you attacking me? I can feel your bean toes. Goodbye. Is he going for my elbow gun? I'm leaning away. He's going for the elbow again. Oh god. Alright, I don't know what he's doing. I'm out. Oh god, we got fucking. We got approximately 6 more minutes. I think. Math's bad. I'm bad at math. Okay, what else should we talk about? Let's talk about I don't know, something. Let's see, something positive. Let's talk about something really fucking positive. I've been listening to a fair amount of stand-up comics, right? And there are some absolutely stellar stand-up comics, right? I think, but it's really interesting because stand-up comics go through stages, right? They'll have really good specials and they'll have really bad specials. And stand-up comedy is in this kind of interesting spot where a comic is essentially always growing, right? Or at least always changing. But like a stand-up special is like their one chance to show off how they've grown in like a 1 or 2 year period for a lot of people. Sometimes like Dave Chappelle will be like, this is the first time I've heard him in like 10 years. So, and his style will have changed actually a fair amount. But Chris D'Elia, I didn't like his recent special. But I really loved his older specials. And, like Bill Burr, I really love his last special, but his special before that I thought was like just kind of right? And a lot of that has to do with like for Bill Burr, and like his style of comedian, a lot of it has to do with kind of how edgy they are, and like if it feels like a comedian is like there's a difference between like political incorrectness and just being incorrect, right? We're just being like kind of an asshole just on stage. and it's like funny, right? There's times when it's like you're being politically incorrect, and I don't think you're being all that funny, right? The joke is old. Um, but that being said, there's absolutely some really good politically incorrect comedy. Like I think it was Ron White's. I want to say it was like 2018 or 2017 comedy special that I just watched. That I thought had a fucking really amazing. Like if you like, it's just on the cusp of like what I think is perfect political incorrectness, which is he was talking about Muslim women and uh in a specific country in the Middle East could only who by law they had to wear the burqa, and they only had one eye hole. And he made a lot of like pretty reasonable jokes about it. How like you made a bunch of pretty reasonable jokes that weren't like really bad. It was just like kind of rehashed jokes, but they were pretty good. They were well executed, anyways. But anyway, he said, and I know these. He's like, what? Or basically, he mentioned that a few jokes about that, and then he finished it with, and I know everybody's gonna go up here and act like it's like, oh, Ron, you're just up here, saying, oh, those crazy, Muslims, and talking about how like they don't want to be doing, or yeah, and talk about how weird it is. But like, no, I'm perfectly fine with them doing this, and uh, and I'm sure the women just love wearing burqas with, and bumping into shit all the time. Uh, and then like he waited for like pause or whatever, and he's like, what? You know they love it. I can see it in their eye hole. And it's like a funny joke, right? Because like the idea that like it's a really well crafted ender or finisher to that joke. And to me that's like perfectly like that's like that's what politically incorrect should be, right? Like you're actually trying to say something, right? You're not just being like edgy, like he might have just been trying to be funny, but he said something, right? He said, he in a roundabout way said these women don't want to do this. And it's just like, I don't know, like it's what I've always believed political correctness kind of should be, right? Political incorrectness should be executed for the purpose of, I mean, if you have an actually fucking good joke that's going to go with it, whatever, and B, it should be executed for the purpose of changing the situation politically, right? If you're not being funny, if you're not being like fucking original, right? If you're not being original, and if you're not trying to change anything, then you're just doing nothing, right? You're just being up on stage, being a fucking weirdo asshole, right? Because if it's not funny and it doesn't want to change, then the only people who are going to be laughing with you are just people who like agree. It's laughs out of agreement, right? Not laughs out of like, it's not useful, right? Because it's not like, I don't know how to put it. I just don't respect it. That type of joke. All right. Anyways, it looks like we're getting pretty close. I've been looking at the timer just because for some reason I have it in my head that I'm gonna stop exactly on fucking 60. But also I forgot that I actually cut shit out. Fuck. So I'm actually gonna go to 65. We're going a little long here. We're going a little late. I say this late. This is like the first type of this video that I've done. So. Oh, God. Oh no. I've made a mistake where I'm like crouching over. I'm like, yeah, we're doing this. This is what I look like. I look like a fucking like I look like some kind of fucking creature. I know I do. I need to like sit up straight. It's because this chair, like it does this thing where like it really wants you to like fucking like hunch over like that because it goes back. But there we go. This feels like it's just as comfortable as that leaning forward thing. But it also makes me look even fatter. God, I'm gonna look so fat. I'm gonna look so fucking fat. I don't want to look as fat as I'm gonna look. But whatever, it's fine. Nobody's gonna look at this, so that's my one fucking reprieve. Reprieve? I don't know how to say that word. I've read it and I've probably heard it, but I don't remember hearing it. Whatever. I was gonna say. I want to burp. It's just in there, and it's not like coming up, but I can feel it. I need someone like to tap on my back or something, you know, like hold me over their fucking shoulder and just like. That's weird. That's what the fucking ice cream burps do to you. You know what I'm saying? Like this right here is a bowl of ice cream, or it was a bowl of ice cream. It's now not, because I ate all of the ice cream. It wasn't a lot of ice cream. It was like probably like 2.5 servings of ice cream, which is kind of a lot. But it was like 2.5, 2 servings of ice cream, with like some freaking like really like it's a really vanilla-y ice cream, really heavily vanilla'd ice cream, and I put like some really heavily spiced soda over it, like a ginger beer or some type, but it's like really heavily spiced. Um, so it, like by itself, I would say it's not undrinkable, but like it just hits you so hard in the ass. I think it's like a mixer for gin. At least I think I'd be good with gin. Um, but anyway, so I just put it on a bunch of ice cream, and like it was flat, so that's what it is. Look, whatever. I ate a bunch of ice cream and soda before this. So that's what the burps are coming up, and it's not good. It's bad. It feels bad. I look fat, but the ice cream didn't do anything to that. At least not in this moment. I will look fatter because of the ice cream, but we're not going to talk about that right now, because just right now I'm in pain. I'm experiencing immediate regret. That's like a yawn, but like I wanted it out, but by me pushing it out, it just didn't want to come out. It was like nothing wants to escape my body right now. Everything's trying to stay in my body as much as possible so I can feel as fucking fat as possible. I think I just said possible twice in like 5 seconds, which is always a mistake. Anyways, fucking this facial hair situation. Like next time I make a video, which maybe it'll be soon. If it is quick enough, it might be fucking soon. And I might just make fucking videos that are like super random. Like I might make like fucking guitar videos. Like I don't know. Right? And who the fuck was it? Oh, I think it was Gus Johnson, who recently was like, I recently watched a video and he was like, nobody wants to watch your bullshit, right? Have something interesting. Have something good. And like, yeah, I agree. But also, maybe just like posting every day, right? Like maybe just making shit and getting really comfortable with the camera is very useful. I think it's useful at least. I think I'm pretty comfortable with this camera. I'm so comfortable with this camera, I'm not looking at it a lot of times. I'm so comfortable, I don't even feel the need to make fucking eye contact with this lens, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like making eye contact wherever is in front of me. Because frankly, the camera means nothing to me. I guess I've owned this camera for like years at this point, so I guess I'm just so fucking used to the concept of cameras that also like I like to do I don't know. I'm just so familiar with cameras that they mean nothing to me, right? They're just tools. They're not like I don't see cameras as like 100 people watching me through something, right? It's just like it's a camera, right? It doesn't help that also I think I've like I don't know what it's called, but I have a thing where like I always believe people are watching me. It's like this I guess it's like the simulation idea. But like I just act like there's always a studio audience kinda. But it's not like I really believe there's a studio audience, but it's just like I don't know, maybe it's out of boredom, right? I was alone with not a lot to do as a kid a lot. Maybe I developed it around that time. So I just like kind of always act like there's a studio audience because like I laugh at the things I do. And I'll just do shit that makes me laugh. But like I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to really put it in a way that's like doesn't make me sound like a crazy person. But like it means that like I talk to myself a fair amount, and I do when nobody's around, I do weird shit when nobody's fucking around. And I mean to be fair, this is kind of weird shit, right? That's all this is. That's all this kind of takes. This situation takes, right? It just takes the ability to talk to an imaginary audience and not like kind of freeze up a whole lot. And I'm freezing up somewhat, but I'm attempting not to use, or I don't believe I've been using I don't believe I've been using like a whole lot. I've been using like more than I'd like to, but it's less than I could. So I'll just stop talking, or I will pause instead of using a buzzword. And it might make me sound drunk. I'm kind of tired, so that might also be what's making me sound kind of drunk. But I shouldn't be tired. Oh, that's something else. Real quick. This is fucking worrying me. I get tired so early in the day. Like I take naps now. And I think naps are something that your body makes you take once you let it start making you take them. If there weren't any, oh god, my face keeps like itching. I recently cut my own hair. Let's put my hair down. You know, let's put my hair down so future me can be like, oh god, what the fuck did I do to my hair? Perfect. Um. What was I saying? I've immediately forgotten. Fuck. My ADHD is getting to me. I don't know if I have ADHD. I was diagnosed with ADHD as a child. So I think I have ADHD. I immediately forget shit I say. I think that's a lot of people. I just always fucking forget the shit I say. And I need to, like, there's this thing that I do where I'll just, like, consciously go back and remember it, but I have to be quiet for, like, a minute to do it. And I can't be quiet for a minute here, so I just have to keep talking, and well, I'm talking, but also I'm thinking, and it feels like I'm, like, the gears normally just turn, like, you know, but I'm trying to have, like, this gear talk, and this gear think, and they're like, they're, like, fucking each other up. So, I'm not, it's gone. It's fucking gone, what I was talking about. I'm sure it's useful. I'm sure it was great. Anyways, I'm sure my camera's gonna fucking die. So, I'm just gonna put pause on that shit. Or put the button. Cat, you're finally here? Alright, I'm gonna end the video. Thank you for watching Future Me. And, I don't know. I hope you, are closer to my ideal person than I am right now. And if you're not, that's fine too. Just don't stop trying. Oh, fuck. All right. And pause.